What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Oh, man. I'm feeling good. You feeling good? No, she's not feeling good. The silence, you can tell. Whenever a girl has silence, she's like, no, I don't care.
Tired.
Like you.
But that's my life story.
God damn. I don't like you. I don't like what's happening.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly what?
Just had a little attitude today.
Maybe it's that time of the month.
That's rude. That's very rude. I think guys always have their time of the month then. What's your excuse?
What's my excuse? What does that mean?
Yeah, what's your
You
excuse?
said guys always have their time of the month?
Well,
What?
because you don't have one, so what's your excuse?
How do you know that?
Because you're a cis straight male.
I can have my time of the month. I'm not always going to be happy.
You know what that means, though.
Yeah. I've been drinking a lot of water, so I'm leaking in some way.
You were just making a whole joke out of this.
No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all.
That's gross.
I'm not at all. What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing?
We're just going to deflect, like, how appropriate for today's conversation that
man.
we're going to deflect.
Right? What they say in Orange is the New Black? Deflect, pivot, and deflect, or something like that.
I don't know.
Oh man! So what's going on, everyone? I am Shadell.
You answer to the side of the question.
It's like, no, like I care about the world. I don't just care about myself. I'm just trying to make the world better. All right. Like I'm trying to do with this intro here, get the party started. What's going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren.
And I gotta say, this past week, I don't know about you, like you, not like the audience, you.
Okay.
I feel like it's been light for like stuff, news, things happening. So this episode, I'm not sure how long it's going to be. These are just some topics I want to touch on, and to get my thoughts on. And the first one that we've done like 2 episodes on. One was a freaking long dialogue that you did,
which
like,
you guys loved. Like, dang. That's our most listened to episode. So like, props, guys. You must love me or love the beauty community drama or things like that.
You mean the tea?
The tea.
And then we did a second update after she did like that whole video. And if you guys don't know, by seeing like this title already, we're talking about Jaclyn Hill.
Again.
And she did a second video.
I swear she does this on purpose for PR.
She did a video this past week, and it's her doing a more professional apology video, I guess you can call it, but not really an apology.
Yeah, because she has she's has the background, she's dressed nice, she has the makeup on, and like, it's not the whole, like, she even poked fun of herself and like put the little screenshots in the video of like, oh, not doing like on the bathroom floor or the bedroom and like no makeup and sweatpants and all that. And yeah,
she just didn't want to get shamed again.
I'm just saying though, I get that we're women and we can show things off. But if you're trying to be more professional, choose a different top. You can't see it in that picture because her hands are up. But during that video, I was just like, boobs. You can't even see it in that still.
Hold up.
Like the actual video, it's just like boobs.
Hold up. I got to play this real quick and see what you're talking about here.
And like she kept pulling it up. Look at that. I'm just saying, like, there's a time and place. If you claim that you're trying to be more of a CEO figure and be more professional and all that kind of stuff, I was staring at her boobs.
I didn't I was watching that on the big TV and I did not see that at all. Like, I was paying attention to her face and what she was saying. Man, I did not notice that at all.
Right. It's low cut. There's a lot of cleavage.
Where's your mind going?
I'm just saying.
Freaking creep. I see.
There's different things that go into what she's trying to say
now I
she's
can't
doing.
See this,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just going through. I'm like, I keep seeing it. I don't see a single part where it's like not there.
Contained.
Oh wait, the end.
Yeah, she's bending over where it's out of shot. In real life, it's all over the place though.
Doug, all women have cleavage. Stop trying to body shame.
I mean, not all women technically.
Okay,
but
you're still body shaming.
No, I am simply saying if she's claiming to be more CEO figure, more professional, all that kind of stuff, that's one thing that goes into it. Yes, you want to embrace your curves. You want to dress. Yes, women can dress themselves to flatter their bodies and be professional.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, no. Like, they're, you got to be tasteful because you want to be taken seriously, especially in this world where it's dominated by men.
Well, now that I've seen that, because you put it right in my face, literally, I think it's very tasteful. I think, what are you going to do?
You're a man, okay? No. Of course you think it's tasteful because it's nice to look at.
Tasty. My first and I think I watched it a second time also, and I didn't realize that.
I'm just saying, it's a pretty shirt, but I just think
I dig the shirt and the background float together.
Yeah,
I dig
her appearance was fine. It looked, that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you were in a corporate world, there's dress codes.
I mean, in a corporate world, I don't think anyone would care except for the girls in the office.
But there's technically usually dress codes to ensure
that's not that crazy of a dress code. It's just a slight it's not a low cut. It's just a medium, I'd say.
Okay, checking mine to make sure I'm not all over the place while I'm talking about this.
It's not that bad. I've seen worse. It's not it's all out there.
And here's the thing too. She has average, I feel size breasts because I understand that women who have really, really big breasts, there's no combating it. But I don't know.
This topic
or
went
wear
all
a
the
cami,
way left.
A camisole. Those used to be all the rage.
You're still body shaming. Why are you trying to tell her what to dress?
I'm not body shaming. I am simply saying if she's portraying this professional CEO image, that's how you kind of take it home.
All right, back to the topic that I actually want to talk about.
Well, it's part of the topic.
It wasn't a topic that I was really interested in until you pointed it out.
What else is pointing?
Not anything that I have.
Good.
Yeah. So I was looking and I'm at first you said oh, do you want to talk about this on the podcast? And I'm not really. There's something there to talk about. She's explaining it, whatever. The approach isn't the greatest and how she explained this because I felt like she just brushed it off, but it is what it is. But then I stumbled across an article from Jezebel.com and I was hold up. We should talk about this because I don't think she said sorry. So the title of this article, if you want to check, it's on Jezebel.com. It's called "The Future of YouTube Apology Videos is Not Really Saying Sorry." So I was hold up. That's when I asked you. I'm I don't think she said sorry at all in this. And you're oh yeah, around the 9-minute mark. I played that, listened to it for probably a minute or two into it. I didn't hear anything that was I'm sorry. Throughout this whole video, when I first heard it, she's sitting there explaining, she got off social media and explaining this, how she had to get off social media. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Feel free to listen to it.
No, continue talking.
She explained how she had to get off social media to work on this, and she fired a bunch of people within the quality control area and stuff like that. And she did a lot of. What'd she say? She's sorry and what?
Hold on.
And I don't.
Okay. Hold on.
Well, the mic is in the front.
This part. Oh no! I scrolled to the wrong point.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's not because I was embarrassed. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not at all the reasoning. But I just have to say I'm sorry. It's so important to me that you guys know how sorry I am and how embarrassed I am. This has just been...
No. I feel hold on. And I feel she... Shh. Let me get my word in edgewise. I feel and I feel she says something again, a little after that. No, I don't think it's like the best apology. I'm just saying she technically said the words.
She said the word, sorry, but like she said, the video was a justification video. There we go.
Well, yeah.
That's the word I would use.
So here's the thing is like, yeah, the first half was like her sob story about where she's been and like what's going on and that kind of stuff with her. Then the second half of the video is more about like the products and what happened, but not really what happened. It kind of just dances around what happened. And if you spent $100,000 on lab results, where are they? They had to come back by now.
It was a lot of justification, like, oh, she fired and hired a bunch of people, did this and that, and like went to another lab and all this stuff.
And people have brought up good points that, you know, she claims how she hasn't left the house in a month and she's been doing this and that. Maybe you should leave your house and go to the labs and see the labs and be there, like in it. You know, all the people that have actually done this professionally forever are saying like, yeah, you should be like on the front lines, like seeing what's happening, orchestrating, like having a say.
If you're the CEO or manager, boss, whatever, if you
should want
handle
to.
people,
let's be real. If this is something that you've always been excited about and you've always wanted to do and stuff, yes, it's work, but this should be something that you're excited to do and want to be a part of.
Well, it's also
especially because it's your image.
It's your image. It's your business. It's like if you have to make sure the employees are doing good. If you're not sitting there managing them, do you have someone in place that's managing these teams, like that are overseeing the quality?
So, if this is your first launch, I would think you would want to be the one who's kind of overseeing everything personally.
What I think happens, listening to her last video, not this one that she made, but she was like on the floor and all that stuff. I think what happens with this, I don't know this. I'm outside looking in. From what I understand is like it's kind of like you rent space at like these labs and like you use the people that are there is what I'm understanding from like listening to like these videos from like makeup artists.
Well, that's what Marlena was saying. How they were in different like rooms at the same time.
So that's why it's like it's interesting to me because I'm like, how do you hire and fire people? Because technically you're working with a company that handles like has a lab, has the equipment, has the people, and it's like
I'm almost wondering if it's certain departments of people that you can pick or hire.
Because I feel like you would have to talk to them, and then they would be like, okay, we gotta fix this.
Even if it's the lab, maybe you could always change who's working for your project, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's through the lab, maybe you can get other people.
Because you're outsourcing it. That's the thing. You're outsourcing it to this company to make this for you. That's why I'm like, yeah, you have to say. I'm not saying you don't, but to be able to fire and rehire people. And then at one point she says, I'm pretty sure in this video, she said she changed like labs or somewhere. So I'm like, was that before or after you hired and fired people? Because if you change labs, I'm assuming you just have a new set of people.
I don't know. Maybe she does have I don't know how that works. We can't say.
I'm not saying.
We can't say for sure. I'm just saying.
Well, obviously, I was just saying from the outside looking in. I'm going to cut you off. My bad. But I'm just saying. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
It's like where if you did fun edits on the video, it'd like zoom in my face and like.
Man, that's all you. That's your
job. Yeah, we don't know the actual answer to that.
Obviously, but I'm saying
maybe there is a process where they actually have their own people.
But I'm saying like there's holes in this where it doesn't make sense because if you're with the same place, okay, you would talk to the people there, management, whatever, and say, hey, this didn't come out, got a huge backlash. I'm sure it doesn't work for them because that makes other clients feel like uncomfortable about doing business with them. So of course they're going to do things to make sure it gets handled, fire, rehire people. Increase training, things like that. But then you're saying that you went to another building, like it's still within like the same company, just with now, different people in that building. Like I don't know. It's just different things I thought watching this video. Again, I don't care about this makeup drama stuff. I just always find it interesting when it comes to these topics and just trying to like dig into it when they are interesting.
Someone I watch a drama channel, Peter Mon. He's the one that I always watch. That you're like, he always peek at me.
He sounds like Perez Hilton to me.
He does not.
He sounds like it.
Anyways, so I like him because he's more just funny and lighthearted about it. He's not like one of these drama channels that's so like beats down on them and like all this kind of stuff. Like he actually wants the underdog to win. Like but where was I going with this? He had said he thinks this video is like the point of it was just to say I'm coming back. Like there was no like real point to it. It was kind of like a video to be like, here I am, but not really. And like, hold on, there's more.
Yeah.
Like he says how like she's kind of the master of like continuing you along and just kind of being like, all right, we're gonna like, here's a little bit, but wait, you have to wait for more. And like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. And I'm 50-50. I go back and forth. Like, I don't trust her and her products anymore, but it's hard because I know people are beating down on her, but like watching the video, I don't know. Yes, there's people like sociopaths and narcissists in the world that can fake things, but I don't know. I feel like you can tell in her eyes that she's just tired and broken. Well, and the thing is that at the end of the day, we're all human.
Yeah.
And so it kind of sucks. Like, so I feel for that, but at the same time, the way she's handling things, and I understand that you have to learn as you go, but there's been so many people willing to help you so that it didn't get to this point and you just kind of ignored them. Like the whole going off social media and everything was a mistake because as a CEO, you need to actually address people. Like you can't run away like that, no matter for whatever reason you have. And so I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it.
I'm not like judging her character or whatever, or if she did this like to be shady or whatever, because I feel like that's what you're implying with that, where it's like, oh, you see like the honesty. Like, I'm not saying like she did something shady and all that stuff. I just think there needs to be better management.
I mean, I'm questioning something shady, definitely, because this whole thing has been weird. She tried to deny so much, and it was like...
There needs to be better management. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, at the end of the day, you should be seeing... Like, before it goes out to people, look at a batch and see what happens. The next release she does, whether that's at the end of this year or next year or whenever that happens, she's going to have low sales, and people are going to scrutinize it, so you better make sure that it's perfect.
It's hard because with her, you literally cannot have a second failed launch, because if you do, you're gonna be done
pretty much. Like this next one, it has to be
this
perfect.
Is like your last chance to prove that you can do it right.
Like I would literally hire a team to like double check these batches as they're coming out before they even get shipped out.
She'll like double or triple check stuff sometimes. Like, and she even said, she's like, if there's one thing in like a whole batch and like a little something's wrong, then the whole batch goes. Like that's just as it should, because you are playing roulette when you do that. Mm-hmm. If it's like, oh, it's maybe just a couple, it's fine. No,
because you don't know who's gonna get it. What the effect's gonna be when they put it on their body.
I was surprised that she apologized directly to that first girl that she like lashed out at on Twitter.
I'm not. It was the first one.
No, because it was this whole ordeal, remember? And like people were really mad about it, and she should have just never said that. And so I don't know. It's good for her, I guess.
No, not really. Is she gonna say sorry to everyone else that's been affected?
Well, yeah,
I just think that girl was just the lucky one that got the direct sorry, and that's it. Like no one else is gonna get a direct sorry. They're gonna get in general, I'm sorry this happened, this and that. Like she's gonna justify like, we hired people, we got a new lab. We're doing great. I didn't hear anything about her like being like managing things and handling things, like overseeing how this process works next time. It's just I don't know, but that's just me. I think I'm gonna drop on this topic. I'm not sure if we're gonna cover this again.
She's always popping up. She is losing some subscribers over that last video, though. Nothing like what happened with James Charles, but it's like there's a little bit of a decline there.
Yeah, whatever.
And she reactivated her Instagram, but not her Twitter.
Yeah, because Twitter, you get that heat.
And I had noticed, too, on the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Instagram, the only picture you can comment on was the latest one that had said something about their frequently asked questions thing, and it was like a month ago, and yeah. Everything else you couldn't actually comment on. So they were shutting down as much as possible.
I don't know.
You know what? I heard that not everyone has even gotten their refunds back yet.
I wouldn't surprise me.
I'm like,
I'll say
what's so hard about that at this point?
Wouldn't surprise me because she was saying on the video, she's like, she's
that
trying
video
to refund
was
people
like a month and a half ago.
All that stuff. I wouldn't surprise me that people aren't gonna get the refund. She's gonna be like, I sent it, and it is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I would not want to be on that team.
Just what I would do for those people that can't get refunds, if you made it on like a debit or credit card, like maybe you call your bank and say you try getting a refund through the company directly. You haven't gotten anything in like a month or so, and
you'd probably have a leg to stand on because you can show them the thing that, like the email that says you would get a refund.
Yeah,
at least. And you can prove, like, with bank statements or something.
Show them the YouTube video. She posted this on this day, and she said I would get it back.
Lies.
All right. I want to touch on something else that's still within the YouTube realm. And I know we've covered this before. It was with Logan Paul and... Yeah, Logan Paul. No, Jake Paul. Jake Paul's the little one.
The little one, okay.
You know what I mean? The younger one.
Yes, I know.
So... I was cooling on this one. Chilling.
What did we cover with Jake Paul? Now I'm blanking.
It was the Shane Dawson like whole series he did.
We covered that on the podcast?
No,
I thought that was before we started the podcast.
Some Shane Dawson one. Maybe it was him with his cat. I remember that part.
Yeah, that's it.
Something different.
I'm like, we didn't do any of those.
Well, related to Shane Dawson and YouTube, I wanted to talk about this here. I was holding back because I'm like, I don't really know what to say about this, but some thoughts came to my mind. It's as you dig more and more into this, like Eugenia Cooney and like Jaclyn Glenn,
another Jaclyn,
like past history that I find interesting, where it's like there's something deeper happening here, and it's just weird. So the gist of it, I'm sure. Because I played some videos, but if you're not familiar with the story, I'm just going to give a brief recap. So Shane Dawson went and did a video about Eugenia Cooney, however you pronounce her last name. I'm probably butchering it. And she made videos in the past. She was a super skinny girl. You may be familiar. I remember when I first saw her, I'm like, wow, I've never seen someone this skinny. And this was like way back when I was younger, and I was just kind of shocked. And then I was like, okay, on to the next one. So Shane Dawson did a video of like her return because she came back from rehab. She looked to be doing a bit better, eating more, all this stuff. And after that video came out, Jaclyn Glenn, which is a close friend of Eugenia Cooney, like felt kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, like betrayed or like stabbed in the back by Eugenia. She goes on to say, Eugenia made some comment where like her friends were like pushing her, or she had people pushing her into directions where she didn't want to go and things like that, which Jaclyn assumes like she's referring to her because it was her and her close friends that were close to Eugenia that are trying to get her help, literally to the point of tricking Eugenia to come to her house so they can call some psych therapist or something like that to like evaluate her. And it was like a 5150 that is an involuntary like leave or something like that, where they could take you away if they really find that like you're not mentally stable. And I thought this was pretty interesting because there seems to be like a split in the road of this, where Eugenia is being controlled by her family, which seems like more so her mom. And then you have Eugenia's old friends, Jaclyn and the rest of her group, that were there to help and support her. And to me, it doesn't make sense why people on that side are like sitting there like upset, saying, "Hey, I know she was not in the greatest place, but you shouldn't like overstep your bounds."
Wait, so whose side you're saying on?
The people that are like, so for example, if you see your friends, they're going through a horrible time. They're you could tell they're being abused by their family. They're not eating, like they're just going through a battle with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting there with your friends, like, okay, how can we help this person? We know they need to have help. You're sitting there doing research, trying to figure out,
right?
And you do everything, to like get this person help. And then as soon as like this information comes out online, because she wants to tell her side of the story, saying, "Hey, I'm all right, I'm good," all this stuff. And then the people are like, I don't even know, like against her friend stepping in.
So the general public is against her friends.
No, it's split.
The family is against her friends.
Oh, well, yeah. Eugenia's family does not like her friends.
This is all I need clarification on. Is who's against who?
I'm talking about the general public.
Okay. They're
split.
not okay. Oh, okay. So some of them like it, some of them don't.
Exactly.
What the friends did.
And I don't understand that part.
Why?
That's what I'm trying to wonder. That's why I'm like, why?
No, why don't you understand it?
How do you get upset at someone that is trying to help their close friend?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. Like, am I messed up there?
No, because I would agree that I think what they did was a lot better because blood family is notorious for not always being the best or not having the best decisions or right frame of mind or all that stuff. You know, everyone has a messed up family in some way. And so sometimes not outsiders because they're inside because they're close to you, but you know what I mean? Like not blood family can actually have a better heart for you or a better idea of what's best for you and kind of look out for you better than your actual family can. That happens a lot. So I would side with them. You know, especially because we're talking about when you look at what she used to look like. I was telling him because Shadell doesn't know about Karen Carpenter from like the 60s and how, you know, she was kind of the one, she ended up passing away because she got so emaciated. And you just end up, you know, ruining your heart and just not having a chance. And so and she kind of made that more aware, and so, you know, we have the tools, we have the ability to help these people, and clearly they need it because if they're getting to a certain point, of course they don't see it themselves. Of course they just still see themselves as not great. You know, it's the body dysmorphia and all this stuff. And they do need someone to step in to help them. It's like any other kind of mental illness, you know. But maybe in some cases this is worse because now you are, you know, you're just slowly deteriorating. And then you're getting to the point where your heart won't be able to take it. And then you basically, like even what they were saying in Shane's videos, you basically give yourself a heart attack or heart failure, and that's how it ends. So I mean, that's the thing, that's what's so crazy to me is how can you get mad? This person could have died if she just kept going. And yes, if she is around a family that's toxic and she's around bad people who are basically, no pun intended, like feeding into this, then she would have died. Because that's the thing is, you know, she's around these people that can make her feel worse and make it, you know, or make it feel acceptable or whatever the case may be. That's awful. Like, and then that gets in your head. And if that's who you're around all the time, that is what you believe. And so it's a whole mess. So I don't see at all why that's an issue that they stepped in. I think maybe people are finding an issue that they're coming out of nowhere and maybe trying to get 15 seconds of fame.
Come on.
I'm wondering if that's it. But besides that, I think they have a lot of fair points because that's the reality of it, is they either stepped in or she would have died. That's probably what would have happened. So I don't see why people are so upset. Because, yeah, there's boundaries, but come on. Not when it's life or death like this. Because you watched it for years. It's not like, oh, she lost a couple pounds and she just doesn't want to eat lately. No, like, this is a progressive thing that's been happening. So, it needed help.
Don't mind me. I'm just killing a bug on the table.
Ew.
Oh, wait. I didn't kill it. Gotta jump somewhere.
Ew.
Well, it's just like a little fly thing.
Oh my gosh. Can you not?
I don't know. It just...
Cute. You can throw that out.
God damn. It won't die.
Oh my gosh.
It's jumping out.
Can you... Let it live.
My bad. But... It just blows my mind that people have that train of thought, and it's like, okay, it makes me wonder, like, are you being manipulated in some way where you don't understand this and you think it's okay?
Yup.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They're like, oh, it's your family. I'm sure if the mom knows best, she knows what she's saying. Like, it's like, what? What?
Family does not always know best. Family
like
does not always know
like,
you.
Yo,
they don't always have your best interest at heart.
This girl's like 24, 25, whatever. She's around our age, and she's sitting there, like, still listening to her parents. And, like, when Shane was doing the whole, like, video, the lawyer was there. You see him in some parts, like, where he's, like, behind them as Shane and her are talking. Or sometimes he's probably not even in that, in that frame of the video. But I'm pretty sure this guy's, like, in the next room or behind them or something.
A lot of people were saying that Shane's video wasn't even a fair representation because they were saying, like, it's basically a house tour and a makeup video and it's too lighthearted. It's not actually, they said it's not getting to the real issue and the real core of it and helping her in any way. And that they think the lawyer was there to keep things in check. They think the lawyer was there on the mom's side.
And she did.
So that things didn't get out and so that, she was good.
I don't remember this. But did she, like, explain why, like, she was that bad? I think they tried staying off that.
And the thing is, I can understand, yes. One, if you don't want to air all of your personal details. Or two, if it's traumatic and you're not ready to talk about it. I understand that. But I think it was more so she's being controlled. And she is scared of what could happen if she actually came all the way out.
And it was funny because Jaclyn was saying in her video where she's like, I guess her mom has it brainwashed in her head, like, if you talk about this, I guess their relationship, their family, I don't know, something about it, like her mom's gonna have a heart attack. Like, and remember, this isn't like a little kid you're dealing with. This is someone that is 24, 25.
But when that is all you know and that's the environment you grow up in, you believe it.
It's crazy.
And it also is, yes, you look at it like, oh, this is my mom. So it's hard, she's still stuck in that.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that she would believe that and that she would feel guilty.
I really hope more details come out about this, even though I doubt it. And as
I hope she actually is on the up and up.
I mean, you gotta...
Because even you said, the way she was wearing such a loose sweater in the Shane's video.
I feel like... I'm like...
Like I want to say when he first opened the door, her face looks a little bit rounder. Like her face could maybe look a bit healthier. Well, but I don't know about...
Yeah, her face looked healthy, but
overall.
I'm like, why was she wearing... Because was it to hide her arms or was she, like, self-harming? Like,
I don't know.
That's what my thoughts were. Either it's...
Or not for nothing, if you're that thin, you could just be colder all the time. Because I know personally, like, when I was, like, 20 pounds lighter and I had lost all, like, that weight and I had, gone to the gym and done all this, I actually was colder more frequently just on the day-to-day. And it could be any season. And I think it's because, like, fat is insulating. So,
damn,
I don't know. Could
be
a lot of
That's
things.
just interesting. I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Man, Okay, off of this YouTube stuff, I want to get into this crazy topic here, and this is probably one of the many reasons that we didn't think about renting when we were looking for like a place to move into when we bought our own place.
Man, we just couldn't afford it. It's Connecticut.
Well, we couldn't afford it, but I mean, also having to deal with, I guess, in a sense, a boss is not the greatest.
But home ownership and being in a condo, that also has its own headaches.
It does.
Because you're responsible for more. And like, I think that's a reason a lot of people say, like, some people don't want to own a home because, you know, they don't want to replace the water heater. They don't want to replace the roof or like certain things that would be all on just them.
Well, this is going to be something to think about for those people that are renting. So I just want to share this information. This is an article on Vice if you want to check it out. It is called Inside the Wildly Popular Forum Where Landlords Plot to Screw You Over. And this is interesting. So this is from a website called biggerpockets.com. And this website is targeted at property owners who create lasting wealth through real estate. Essentially, it's real estate investors and landlords that go on this website.
Okay.
And it's like, you can look at it as like a Reddit for your questions, in a sense. So all these people that own property, they go on here and they're like, hey, I got this issue. And they lend their thoughts.
See, like, surface value, that actually sounds not bad.
Of course.
But of course, there's people that have to take advantage of it.
They even have a Twitter. They have a Twitter, Big Pockets TXT. But I'm going to get into like one of these here, which is wild. So this guy goes and posts, hello, guys, please help. I have a new tenant with children who relocated in the area for a job promotion. From the day she moved in, she's been complaining about the smallest things, and he puts in parentheses, it's been about 2 weeks. One blind missing roller, missing light bulb and chandelier, requesting a new fridge despite having a working one, and he puts in parentheses, I purchased a new one. AC is not cool enough, and I just updated the duct and system in less than 4 years. Now, she just told me a drug addict was in her trash can at 6 a.m. on the sidewalk. She did ask if she can look for another home, but per her lease, she would have to pay 2 months' rent for breaking lease. First time with this issue, what do I do?
Wait, so question. Something as small as a light bulb, they're responsible for replacing? Because I understand when you rent, sure, bigger stuff like the AC or whatever, but like a light bulb?
Again, that's why this guy's like, these are like small things. Like
that is like, I would just buy it at the grocery store, you know, like.
When they're like they're saying one blind missing roller, what is that like the thing to like switch?
I think it's the thing to like twist it, which I mean obviously you need to open it,
of course, but like is that major of a deal for you just to like?
Because here's the thing, even as a renter, stuff will go wrong or stuff will break or stuff will bend or whatever. I understand if it's like the fridge or the washing machine or different stuff that they kind of are more responsible for, but like little things, I mean, well, maybe the blinds they are, because what if it's one of those where like you can't replace, like, you know how we have the light blocking ones in our room? Maybe in some apartments you can't choose yours and you have to use the ones that are there. Yeah. And maybe it's kind of like that. I don't know, but I don't know. See, we've never rented, so we don't have that. It doesn't really experience.
It doesn't. I think she's.
It does sound a little overkill, though. Yeah.
Like, they're literally like, I'm not putting money into anything. Like, a light bulb goes, hey, I need a new light bulb.
A light bulb. I'm like, that's... Like, spend $3 and get a light bulb.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, any other minor things that, like, just go over time. I don't even know.
Like, even if a doorknob came off one of my cabinets in the kitchen or something.
There you go.
I feel like I would get one, just make sure it matches, because that's the biggest thing is you have to. I know even with our condo, like the doors and stuff, like stuff has to match on the outside, you know, to make it look like a condo. So as long as it matches, I would just replace it.
I don't get it. But one of the replies from like someone that replied to this post, they said, stop replying. Goddamn. Hold up. Stop responding to her petty complaints. Tell her if she isn't happy that she can pay you the 2 months worth of rent for breaking the lease and have a good day.
Yep.
And then I guess like in another thread,
it's not a bad response.
Someone else said, provide the tenant with 5-day notice to pay or quit. You provide the necessary notice. It should be up to him to do the legwork. Oh, this is for the property manager. This ain't give it to the property manager to give the notice.
To leave?
Yeah, to the tenant. Essentially, they're like, they don't care. Like, if this lady isn't happy with these, like, small things, it is what it is. Which, I mean, it makes sense, because it's tough to say, and but they're still, at the end of the day, someone's going to buy this place, because people need to live. But it's kind of interesting that they go, like, through these forms to, like, get people's thoughts.
I mean, but it is helpful. So to me, that didn't sound like they were taking advantage.
Didn't in that one. I'm running through.
Oh.
There's a lot of examples that they have in these ones. I like it. Eviction is good for the soul.
I like how they spelled soul like a shoe sole, not like your inner soul.
Man, there's a lot in here.
Hold, please.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like run through because there's a lot through this.
Play the Jeopardy music.
And I mean, maybe it isn't.
I mean, you made it sound earlier like it was some.
Because I was running through this and I'm like, yo, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't know. It's kind of dicey.
It might be a mixed bag.
Because here goes one here. Yeah, this is tricky. Because they're like, at the end of the day, it's like these landlords just don't care. Because here goes like a quote from Vice saying, tenants, especially when talking about poor tenants with several jobs and several kids, they're just trying to make a life for themselves. Landlords are coming at this for as much more from a much more strategic place to maximize profits. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm making sense at all on this, but it looks bad. When told about the very believable rumor in the crunch San Francisco housing market, wherein prospective renters bring baked goods to open houses to win over potential landlords.
Interesting. It's usually the other way around, where like a real estate agent leaves cookies at an open house.
So the renters bring baked goods to the house to the potential landlord.
That's weird. Isn't it just based on like my credit and what I can pay you? Like,
but it comes down to the money, because it's like if they're, I feel like that's a kind of like a symbol if you're willing to like bring like an item there. If you're a renter looking for a place, which is so backwards, and being like, oh, this person's willing to give me an item, huh? I wonder how much money they have. Maybe they don't have too much money, and they're looking, because it looks like they're just going for however they can make money. Is essentially what these guys are looking for.
I mean, yeah, you want to make money off your real estate.
Yeah, but dog. Okay, here goes one here. Where's this post at? Where's this post? Oh, wow. So this landlord says, I do not respond to petty repair requests. Literally just ignore them. If they bring them up in person, then I tell them to go down to the store and buy some light bulbs. If it is a legit repair that is needed, I can fix it within 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't get stuff like that. Like I said, yeah, the benefit of renting is if an expensive thing goes out, water heater or, oil tank or whatever.
It just
the
seems
biggies,
dicey.
then it helps.
Because like they talk about California being a different beast, and like they're protected under all sorts of laws, so it's hard to get rid of them.
I'm sure California and New York are not the best.
It is my impression that the tenants are mistaking your kindness for weakness, and it's time for you to start channeling your frustration correctly. Put your foot down and take control of your property.
I will say that's a very real thing. It's a fine line you have to walk as a business owner. You need to be kind and understanding.
Okay, maybe I looked at this article wrong, is what I'm realizing.
But you still need to kind of hold your ground and know how to run things without getting taken advantage of. Because that's the thing. Sure, business owners can take advantage of people, but then it could be the other way around too. People are very capable of taking advantage of business owners.
Yeah, of course.
So like it's this fine line you have to walk of being understanding and helpful, but being like, okay, this is what you hire me for. This is where I put my foot down.
Of course.
You know.
And I what do you call it? I watch some like people on YouTube that like do the whole real estate stuff, and like I hear their stories and like their first where they're like, oh, I handled this myself. And it wasn't the greatest, and I gave this guy, a chance on rent, and he could pay me back like a week or two late, and it was fine. But then it started being like a common thing, and it just got like crazy. Like I've heard those stories, and it's just like, that's true. Maybe that article I took completely wrong.
It's like my story of the bride that I have that I gave one exception to, and she has just been putting me through it ever since.
I mean, I put you through it too.
Ever since, and trying to get this out of me or trying to do that or asking this and changing that. And I'm just like, listen, this is what I get for being nice.
Yeah.
So I get it.
All right. So I'm going to drop that. I was completely wrong now.
Look at that. We're doing a good job. It's 46 minutes.
Oh, man. Look at that.
You were all like, we're not going to make an hour.
Look at that. I'm trying to bring that content. Man.
5 stars, guys. It's 5-star worthy.
So we got this relationship advice here. And I thought this was so backwards. And I don't think if you are a guy ever put in this position by a girl, please don't do it. I'm just going to tell you right now, straight up.
Uh-oh.
So this post goes on to say, my girlfriend wants her name on the deed of the house, and she doesn't live there.
You also made that sound different before. You said, I thought the guy wanted her name. Like, he wanted to put it on.
No, I think you heard me wrong, because I'm pretty sure I said that.
Okay, proceed.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No, don't get a big head. Excuse me?
Some advice, please. Oh, man. I split up from my wife, who I had 3 kids with, and had to move to a different city for work. I rent there with my new girlfriend and her kids for the past 2 years. I go back home every second weekend to see my kids and to stay with my folks while the divorce is sorted. I know I want to buy an apartment which I can use to see my kids and for them to use while I'm away as they get older. My girlfriend badly wants her name on the deed, even though she won't be paying a penny of the cost and won't live there. I said no, and I want stability for my kids, but she went crazy and said it proves I don't love her and shows she won't have a future. We don't have a future, and now wants a relationship to end. Am I in the wrong?
Okay, see, I hate these Reddit things because they always leave details out that I feel like are important.
What details do you want?
1, how long have you actually been together?
He said 2 years.
Oh.
He's like his new girlfriend and their kids. He's been in a rented place with them for 2 years.
Oh, my bad. Okay, second. So this is the house that him and the ex-wife had, and I assume that he got out of the divorce?
No. Okay, let me break this down for you. So he moved to a different city, and he pays rent in the city for some place that he stays with his new girlfriend and her kids.
That's an apartment.
So every second weekend, he goes back to the old house he was at to see his kids.
So the ex-wife lives there.
Yes, the ex-wife lives there.
Oh, honey.
So the new girlfriend wants her name on the deed. That
doesn't make any sense.
Even though she doesn't pay anything.
Hold on, it's not even the paying anything. That's the ex-wife's house, boo. Okay? If this was your current boo's house, okay, fine, we have a conversation. But, like, there's literally no conversation here because that's the ex-wife's house. It's not yours. It's not even fully his. If his name's on it, I don't know why, honestly, because if your exes and, like, whatever, that should be separate.
The divorce hasn't been sorted out.
Okay, but eventually it sounds like it's going to be the ex-wife's house. So, which means his name eventually would come off, too. So this whole thing literally doesn't make sense. Why would you want to be on the ex-wife's house deed? Weird. Okay. Sure, you can be in the kids' lives and try and play an active role there. You can, make your own home with him, whatever. But that's weird.
Yeah, because I'm like,
that's her. As far as I'm concerned, that's literally just the ex-wife's house, and then he goes there, for the kids. That's what it sounds like.
And it's like, because you don't have he said he wants to rent, he wants to get his own place that's closer to his kids that he's renting, but you don't get a deed there. Of course, it's not your place.
No, but you could be on the lease.
Yeah, but he said deed. I don't think. So,
unless he's looking to buy a place.
So let's say if that is the case, let's say he wants to rent a place and he puts her name on the lease. But she's not going to go there to, like, live or anything. I don't know.
That's what I don't get. Wait, so they're not living together right now?
Who?
Him and the girlfriend.
Yeah, he stays with them.
Yeah, so wouldn't she live there, like, wherever he goes?
No. So, okay. Let's take it. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
So
why
we live
is this
here.
Confusing me so much?
We live here, right?
Okay.
We break up.
Okay.
I go to another city, still within the state, to go work. And I am also paying for rent at another place with this girl that I met in that city.
Okay.
So we have kids in this place.
Okay.
And I want to be closer to the kids and also have a place where they can come as they get older and all that stuff. So I'm going to come back to the city that I used to be with you and rent a place here.
Right. And she's not going to come with?
She's not going to live in it.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a whole other thing. I'm so confused here because she's talking about, I thought we were serious and all this stuff. Well, then why aren't you living with him? Why are you guys not like a unit going to wherever the hell you're going?
I don't know that part, but she's
See, this whole thing doesn't make sense, okay?
She's pretty much saying if her name's not going to be on the deed of the house, which I'm assuming is like the actual house and not the assumption of renting.
No, I'm wondering if he's trying to buy a house in the city closer.
Which is the smarter
So I think she's talking about that, which makes a little more sense rather than the ex-wife's house.
But nonetheless, I'm not putting any quote-unquote girlfriend on
Why?
it.
You and I got a mortgage together under 2 years. Boom. I got him, guys. I got him.
It depends on the relationship. Because it seems weird. Because also, like, I don't know. It seems funky. I think also ours, it was a risk. It was a risk for us. What?
What does that mean, sir?
I feel like it's a risk when you're like.
I mean, yeah.
When you're
and
not
it's a
married.
Risk. Well,
that's a risk.
Yeah. That's what I always said.
Because you're sitting here with an assumption that, like, oh yeah, me and this person are in it.
It's a risk because legally, you don't really have a leg to stand on as far as who gets what if you were to go separate ways.
And it's a headache.
Yeah.
So people were like, no, you shouldn't do this. She's a gold digger, this and that. And it's like, I kind of agree because it's like, it's risky.
Well, it sounds like I'm almost wondering too, is this girl like younger than the guy?
He doesn't put an age.
I don't know. It almost sounds like I'm picturing in my head like this guy. He's maybe like 35 with his kids, and this girl's like 23, and she's like just trying to be serious and in it, and like that's kind of in my head what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I probably wouldn't.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's risky. If we had a kid and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna buy a place," I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons of this. Probably more cons than pros.
But
they weigh more. I'll say.
But pros were more for us, right? Right.
Yeah, but there's also a risk. So it's like, if you want to take that gamble, yo, be my guest.
Look at that. We took that gamble, and look where we're going. Look at that.
Yay me.
You know what? I'm tired of you.
Yay. I'm so happy for us. Oh my God. Oh my God. Congratulations. What?
You're rude.
I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm opting for you not to do this.
Missy's looking at you like that was rude.
It's all good.
She's looking at me like, you okay? You okay, Mom?
That's my thoughts on that one. Other than that, I think that's all I got.
Look at that, 55 minutes. We did it.
On that note, guys, I think we're gonna roll out with our what do you call it? Our listener message from last week. This is coming from Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything podcast. I'm gonna play the clip. We see
you, girl. We hear you.
I'm gonna play the clip now. This was regarding our last week episode on Friday about you being able to be sued from, like, I don't even know, like, any business. Check the episode out. It's the last one we recorded that's up, and it's a crazy story, and it talks about, like, this guy that took his dog to, like, some emergency vet. They didn't tell him that, hey, we didn't have someone that could take care of your dog within like 6 hours, and then call this guy back. And by the time he took it to some other vet, it was too late and the dog had to be put down. So check out that episode. I'm going to get into Angelica's clip right now, and we'll be right back after.
Hey, Lauren and Shadell. It's Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything with me. I just want to say, OMG, that is complete nonsense. I don't know what to say. I feel like I have so much to say about this because we should all have the freedom to express how we feel with certain stuff. And especially, I'm an avid reviewer. I review on Google, I review on Yelp, I review on stuff that I buy, even on Amazon, because at the end of the day, we work so hard for our money. We work so hard for that dollar. And for me, if I were to spend something even like $20 on an item that I know I can get cheaper, but they're guaranteeing me that the $20 item is going to be more, then of course I'm going to write a review about it, because is it even worth it? Also, when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like people do that when it comes to suing others just because they're a small business and they're not a corporation, because it's so different. In a way where when you're in a big corporation, I worked in retail for 15 years at the front line as in management or even as an associate. So I feel like in a corporation, when you write a bad review, you actually attend to the customer. When a customer would say, hey, this is like what I bought, or even an associate, you actually do whatever it takes to keep that customer, because that mentality of the customer is always right. Now, when it comes to a business, like let's just say like a little guy who doesn't have a corporation, you're literally, it's like, I feel like they have the flexibility of doing what they want in some sort of way. And, they're hurt by their business. And of course, with the story, I would love to know, even if it's a babysitter or daycare, whatever it is, even a carpenter, a handyman, I would like to know the honest opinion of what people thought. So like I said, we earn so much, we work so hard for our money, and we want to make sure that whatever we are whoever we're hiring, whatever we're buying, whatever service that we are getting, that we are putting in our money into the right product. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that properly, because I'm an avid reviewer, and if I went to a restaurant and I knew that restaurant was really bad, I'm going to make sure that everyone's aware of it, because my experience, I look at obviously how the place looks, cleanliness. I'm looking at the service, the associates, how they take care of them. Even when I go to a dealership and I'm getting my car service, I'm going to talk about it. The person was extremely nice. They handled their customers well. They offered me coffee and tea. They offered me other services, because I was one of those people who was on the other line, and I want to make sure that I'm getting service properly. Does that even make sense? Am I making sense here? I feel like I can go on and on about this, because it's kind of like, are you kidding me? But yeah, going back to the story, like, no, that person had the right to talk about their experience. You let that person's animal die. And the fact that a medical personnel actually like, oh no, I'm just going to go on vacation, forget this dog because that's what he was thinking. No. I don't think so. Technically, the guy should be suing him for doing that. Like, it's just, oh my God, so heartless and inconsiderate. I know this is a tough one for everyone, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm going to be spending X amount of dollars on a service, on a product or whatever it is, and even to feed myself, I want to make sure I'm getting the proper service. Because when I worked in retail, let's put it this way, when I worked in retail for 15 years, I always gave the service that I wanted to I gave the service to those people. Those people got the service that they needed, so they got their money's worth and their experience to go with it. Anywho, that was a great segment. I feel like this is obviously, this is crazy what happened. I know here in Canada we have the Ontario, the Canadian Retail Association. So there are rules and regulations when it comes to customer service, when it comes to pricing and everything, and all of the above. And I'm not sure if the U.S. has that, but other than that, I will continue to share my experiences because at the end of the day, like I had a bad experience choosing the venue for my birthday. And I've talked about it because it's like, why am I being forced to buy into a service that I don't need to if I'm telling you what I want? So, I know it's iffy. I don't know. The States is a bit different because it seems like you can find anyone's records and everything else in there. So that's a tough situation. But you know what? That's my opinion. And you guys are doing so great. I love listening to your shows. Keep it up. And I got all rattled. So anyways, have a great one. Bye.
Thank you, Angelica. So, man, I don't have anything to add. You pretty much summed it up. It brings me back to I worked retail also, so it's like whenever someone said, "Hey, I didn't like this," or I saw a label and it said this price and it shouldn't have been on this peg or something like that. It's always about just helping the person out. Even though I'm working for a big company. I don't know. I feel like even though you're working for a big company, you're getting these reviews on Yelp or Google, and people were reviewing, saying, "Hey, my experience today, wasn't that good because of this or whatever." It still
matters. It trickles down.
It does, but it also I don't know about for you, but for me, when I was working retail at Target way back, I would go on Yelp and Google just to see probably once a month or something like that, and see the reviews.
To see if you were named?
Well, not named, but see if I was working around that period and maybe they bumped into me and I didn't give a good service. I don't know, because it didn't make sense. And when I worked at a call center before, your job was kind of based on your reviews. And your reviews helped you when people called in and after it, they got an email or a call or something and saying, "Hey, how'd that person do? Do you like the service they gave you?" It's it doesn't make sense whether you're a big company or small company where you're just up and suing these people. Oh, you want to say something negative about us? No, we're not for that. Goodbye. That's the wildest thing. And like we mentioned on the last episode, we wanted to leave a review about our experience when we had to put our dog through a pet sitter as we were away on vacation, and just the experience with that. And I'm kind of happy I didn't, because who knows, it's going to be definitely a bad relationship with you and that person. But also I'm that's kind of bad. I don't know. I feel like small businesses, more so than big businesses, are going to be I don't like this. I know this lawyer, this attorney.
Here's the thing too, at the end of the day with that is, I know as a small business, I would prefer if the person came to me directly with the complaint, because at least give me a chance to make it right. You know what I'm saying? Versus just venting it out online and now it's a whole other issue.
Yeah, but I don't really want to see people like that.
I understand that, but I'm saying even in an email, something.
I don't want to see people like that, so I'm good.
Okay, well,
just don't sue me over it. That's it. Just don't sue me. Shoot. That's all I got. Angelica, thank you for your voice message. If you want to send a voice message about a question, anything you want to talk about, or a response to one of the podcast episodes, check the description. You can send a voice message through Anchor. We'll play it on the next episode. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. Ric Flair. Woo. No? Okay. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. As always, I'm Shadell. co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I am joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren.
and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.